So you want to get into the prison food business. On paper, this should be one of the easiest businesses in America. Your customers cannot leave. They cannot shop somewhere else. They cannot choose another restaurant. Nearly 2 million people behind bars at any given time. Every day, at the same time, the same people need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That sounds like guaranteed demand. A locked-in customer base. A contract that should print quiet, boring money. But if prison food is such a simple business, why does it keep producing lawsuits, contract cancellations, food scandals, fines, and prison disturbances instead of easy profit? Because prison food is not really about food. It is about contracts, control, compliance, and captive retail. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the tray and the business behind it are two completely different things. Subscribe if you enjoy calm business breakdowns that reveal the hidden numbers behind businesses that look easy from the outside. The 3 tiers. First, understand that prison food is not one business. It comes in 3 completely different sizes. At the bottom is a single county jail. Henderson County, Texas pays around $1.09 per regular meal tray. Annual food budget, $525,000. 1 sheriff's department, 1 vendor, 1 kitchen, a few hundred people. The contract looks small. The operation is not. Then comes the state prison system. California budgets $3.18 to $3.78 per inmate per day. Total annual food budget, over $137 million. Thousands of people, multiple prisons, centralized buying. A mistake no longer affects 1 kitchen. It can affect an entire system. And then there is the national contractor. Trinity Services Group alone feeds more than 300,000 inmates. Over 400 correctional facilities in more than 40 states. At that scale, 1 cent saved per meal becomes serious money. 1 bad decision becomes a national headline. That is where the business turns dangerous. Hold on to that name, Trinity. It matters again later. The costs nobody sees. Before you serve a single tray, you have already spent money you cannot get back. The bid proposal alone can cost tens of thousands of dollars to prepare. Every kitchen worker needs a background check, facility approval, and security clearance. Knives are counted, utensils are tracked, cleaning chemicals are restricted. A missing tool becomes a security problem. And the costs don't stop once you're running. Staff salaries don't pause because the cafeteria served fewer trays this week. Compliance audits run on a fixed schedule, regardless of your margin. Insurance premiums for institutional food liability rise every time a maggot headline runs anywhere in the country. Not just at your facility, at any facility. Because underwriters price the whole industry off the worst story in the news that month. In prison, food isn't just nutrition. It's routine. It's order. It's one of the few predictable parts of the day. If breakfast is late, people notice. If portions shrink, people notice. A restaurant can lose customers slowly. A prison kitchen can lose control quickly. The option product. Now here's the structural detail that explains everything else in this video. The state pays for the tray, but inmates and families pay separately out of their own pocket for something called the commissary. Instant noodles, chips, cookies, coffee, toothpaste, soap. Outside prison, these items look ordinary. Inside, they become routine, comfort, and even currency. This creates 2 different products inside the same facility. The tray is required. The commissary is optional. And optional products almost always carry better margins than required ones. The same lesson a gas station learns from its coffee counter. The pump brings the car. The store makes the profit. Here, the tray feeds the person. The commissary captures the spending. The largest commissary operator built around exactly this model is a company called Keefe Group. In a 2012 financial statement, Keefe reported $375 million in total sales, with a net profit of $41 million, a margin close to 11%, roughly 3 times what Walmart runs on retail. The tray is the loss leader. The commissary is the business. The name nobody expects. Here's where it gets stranger. Before private equity got involved, Keefe Group was owned by Andrew Taylor and his father, Jack Taylor. Yes, that Jack Taylor, the founder of Enterprise Rent-A-Car. He purchased the small St. Louis coffee company in 1974, 2 years before a Florida prison started ordering its coffee packets, and accidentally pointed the company toward an entirely different business.
For more than 4 decades, while Enterprise quietly grew into one of the largest privately held companies in America, the same family was just as quietly running one of the country's biggest prison commissary operations on the side. 2 empires, 1 family, almost nobody connecting them. Who owns the machine now? In 2016, the Taylor family sold that holding to a private equity firm called HIG Capital, which manages around $59 billion in assets. HIG had already acquired Trinity Services Group. Yes, the same Trinity from the 3 tiers earlier, the one feeding 300,000 inmates across 40 states back in 2012. They added Swanson Services in 2014. Then, in 2016, they merged Trinity with Keefe. 3 acquisitions in 4 years quietly built one single company that now runs both sides of the same building. Trinity serves the required tray. Keefe sells the optional commissary. Same parent company, 2 different counters. And when one company controls both, it has a built-in incentive to make the free cafeteria food just bad enough that inmates start buying from the commissary instead. One more detail nobody expects: the state of Michigan's own retirement system, the fund that pays corrections officers' pensions, held $25 million in one of the investment funds that controls Keefe and Trinity. The same guards working the floor during a food-driven disturbance are, indirectly, invested in the company that helped cause it. When the math breaks. Now watch what happens when that same Trinity, and before it, Aramark, tries to make the kitchen too cheap. Between 2014 and 2015, Aramark employees were repeatedly caught serving maggot-infested food. Food pulled from the trash. Food rodents had already gotten into across Michigan prisons. 16 Kent County inmates sued in federal court after roughly 250 people were sickened by contaminated chicken tacos. By 2015, Michigan terminated the contract. Unapproved substitutions, inadequate staffing, drug smuggling. That's one way the math breaks. Cut the food until it stops being food. Michigan switched to Trinity. The new company repeated the pattern. Trinity's kitchens turned up maggots in 3 separate incidents at one facility. The state fined the company more than $2 million for staffing shortages and unauthorized substitutions. Food problems became a major factor behind the 2016 riot at Kinross Correctional Facility, a single incident that cost the state close to $900,000 to clean up. 2 different contractors, 2 different riots, the same business pressure. The real math. Run the actual numbers. A facility holding 1,200 inmates, paid at California's real rate of around $3.50 a day per inmate, brings in roughly $1.5 million a year. Staffed properly, sourced at fair market prices, a disciplined operator keeps a modest profit. Now the underbid version. A competitor wins the same contract by pricing meals near $2.40 a day. The government saves money on paper. To find any margin, the operator cuts staffing, cuts ingredients, delays maintenance. Within months, a state fine in the hundreds of thousands, a lawsuit, sometimes a disturbance that costs several $100,000 more to contain. The difference between holding the contract and losing it isn't a rounding error. It's the entire remaining value of the deal, gone in one bad season. The hidden feature. But here's the part the headlines miss. The riot makes the news. The lawsuit gets a settlement. The contract sometimes even gets cancelled. And the commissary counter, the half of the business Jack Taylor's family understood decades before private equity ever showed up, keeps ringing up sales the entire time. Because a disturbance doesn't stop people from needing toothpaste, instant noodles, and the one warm meal they're now paying for themselves. The chaos isn't a bug in this business model. For the half of the operation that isn't the cafeteria, it's closer to a feature. The tray feeds the facility. The commissary feeds the business. And that's why prison food trays are not the real business. the bigger question. So here's the question most people never ask. If the tray isn't the real profit center, what other prison businesses are hiding in plain sight? Phone minutes that cost 15 times what they cost outside, laundry contracts, vending machines, video visitation systems that quietly replaced free in-person visits. Every one of them looks small from the outside. Inside a locked system, small services become powerful businesses because the hidden money is rarely where the public is looking. That's exactly what the next video is about.